But the whole point is to shorten the learning curve as quickly as possible and empower you with information and knowledge. Because what happens when you first get a laser? I don't know about you, but the majority of people following me feel like I did, and they're terrified. You know, I was so excited, but I was so nervous. So I had high anxiety and low knowledge, which never makes for a good combination,
Not
right?
at all. Yeah,
So the sooner I can increase the knowledge and bring down the anxiety, the sooner I can get you feeling more confident, and the sooner I can help you win.
Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, the #1 podcast if you're looking to scale or grow your laser business. We have an awesome guest today, one of the biggest guests we've ever had on the show, Emily Caroline from That Mom with a Laser. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so stoked to hang out.
I'm excited to be here. It's long overdue.
Yeah, dude, it's super long overdue. It's been a long time, and I want to give these guys an idea of how serious this is, because this isn't like a little thing. So we've got, I just pulled these up really quick before the interview starts today. Instagram, 11.1 thousand followers. Okay, TikTok, 15.2 thousand followers. YouTube, you've got 19.7 thousand subscribers. Your Etsy shop has a 5-star rating. You've made 4,931 sales. And of course, I'm not done. Of course, we have the Facebook group. 32,000 members on your Facebook group. Emily's a big deal, guys. Emily's the real deal. It's true. It's true. Don't undersell yourself. Emily's the real deal. And I'm super stoked to pick your brain today, to talk to you, to hang out. Of course, we'll be doing plenty of that in the bonus episode. But yeah, man, I'm just so excited you're here.
Well, thank you.
Yes, that's okay. I know. I just threw a lot at you. I just want these guys to know, like, this is the real deal for sure. And of course, we've got Kyle and Boyce hanging out up here as usual. What's up, guys? Emily, I can't imagine that there's anybody watching or listening to the show right now that doesn't know who you are. But if there was, how would you introduce yourself? Who are you?
Oh goodness. You know, it's funny because today I was, I've been painting at the warehouse, setting up that new arm of That Mom with a Laser. And my neighbor, he asked me, he said, "So what do you do?" And I was like, that's kind of, it's kind of hard to explain because you know what, here's what I can tell you. If there's anything this journey has taught me, it's that I am becoming like a serial entrepreneur. I do a lot of different things. So in a nutshell, That Mom with a Laser focuses on educating the industry when it comes to commercial grade lasers. I speak particularly well to the woman that I was 3 years ago, a stay-at-home mom. Yep. So, if you come into my group and it's all like girl power kind of stuff. And so I educate the industry. I create digital files. I have brand partnerships, as you know, and I'm sure we're going to talk about some of that. And now I have a new component of my business where I'm going to be taking on physical orders again. I had to stop that for a while, just like you. Like I had to decide which route am I going to take, now that I have this part of my business under wraps, I'm getting ready to start producing physical products again. So when you reach a certain when you reach a certain level of like success, you finally get to a point where you can like inhale for a minute, and like reach out and like start to focus on some of the things that you might have had to let go earlier. Laser Everything is at the same space right now. We're literally just hitting that point. Boyce and again, Kyle know we just brought on Amanda. Amanda's our web developer. We're getting the Laser Everything marketplace underway, which I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on. So there's definitely, I relate to that for sure. And of course, I love how you mentioned that you're speaking to yourself particularly well 3 years ago. You were making a big deal about that yesterday on your social media. 3 years, you've come such a long way.
And you listen to the show, you know, I always tell people, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be a step or two ahead of the people that you're trying to help. And that's, I mean, you can look back and see the ghost of yourself in the past, you know, and that's such a great vision to kind of hold on to know what other people need help with going forward. So I love that.
I mean, it was so surreal. I was there painting the office space and I got a notification on Facebook, and it was a picture of one of the first things I did when I got my laser is I did a lot of, I didn't even know I was doing that, but I was doing tease marketing, right? And so I was letting my people know, my followers or my friends, what was coming. Right. So I got my laser and I really wanted to make those round signs. It's one of the things, one of my best tutorials is how to make a monogram sign with a knockout through it, right? And so I had cut out a name and I cut out the big monogram. I didn't even put it on the round. I hadn't stained it. I hadn't sanded it. I hadn't finished it, but I just took a picture and I sent it out to the world. And at the time I called myself Designs by MEB. I didn't know I'd become that mom with a laser.
Right,
you know?
Right.
And so I'm there painting and I see that first post and I was like, oh my goodness, you know? And so I had to share it with my people.
No, I love that. And I want to ask too, because again, it's super fresh in your mind, you know, 3 years, it sounds like a short amount of time, but it's a long time, especially in our industry. 3 years is like, it's just an infinite like void. Your life looks a lot different now than it did back then. How did you even get into this in the first place? Were you working like a day job and you just got sick of it, or like what happened? Walk me through the timeline. You know, I want to hear more about that.
So I was a high school history teacher, and I did that for 4 years, and then I grew up with a single mom. And so growing up, I really wanted to be able to, like, she worked a lot. And so I knew that one day when I had kids, I would hope and pray that I could stay home with them. So that opportunity came. And so I left teaching and I became a stay-at-home mom. And I was a stay-at-home mom for about 4 to 5 years. And it was time to go back, because money was tight and the kids were getting, you know, my oldest was going to school. So anyhow, I was going to go back to teaching, but deep down inside, I knew that there was something else out there for me. And I prayed that prayer often. I said, Lord, please help me find something that will allow me to use all of these gifts you've given me in a fulfilling way. And then I have a girlfriend, Mindy, who lives down the street, and she's a maker, and she's had a craft business making signs for over a decade. Wow. She posted a sign. I knew it was different because it was 3D. And I asked her, you know, how did you do that? She said, I got a laser. And I was like, what's a laser? You know, I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. You know, and then it kind of spiraled from there. I went to her house. She had a glow forge, and I was just praying and wondering how I was going to ask my husband to support this investment. Because I mean, guys, it was, I cloth diapered 3 babies. Everything we had was used. Like, you know,
every dime and nickel accounted for. Just so I could stay home with the kids. And here I wanted to get this like laser. It was several $1,000s. But anyhow, long story short, I ended up in the laser engraving group and learned about other lasers. I found Eon that was just 3 hours away from me. Went to see that in person. I was like, oh, I want that. Great.
And that's kind of how the story began. And then that mom with a laser was born because all of my friends were in the Glowforge groups and they were making things that I wanted to make, you know, like crafty, like home decor. But they couldn't tell me how to use my laser, you know? And then I went into the laser engraving groups for, you know, but they were full of people engraving guns and making flags, and I couldn't really connect, you know, and I was like, somebody help. Anyhow, and so I kind of had an intuition told me, I bet if there was a woman, especially on social media, I mean, on YouTube, there weren't any women showing other women how to use commercial grade lasers. So I was like, I bet if somebody showed them, they wouldn't be so afraid of upgrading because this is a lot more efficient.
Yeah, I can picture to the moment that it clicks that your teaching skills can come into play here, you know, and like the clouds open up and you're just like I can see that happening. It's so cool.
You know what? It didn't click in the beginning. It was really all just very organic. I just felt a need to help people because I found other women like me that needed help with these kinds of machines. And then slowly but surely I started to realize, oh, wow, this is way more than what I thought it would be. I can't do it all. I still want to be a decent human being to my family.
Right.
And then that's when I kind of had to drop selling physical items and then totally pursue the education route.
Right. I'm glad that you brought up women in this industry. 8%, according to my most recent analytics, 8% of my viewers on Laser Everything are female. And yet, like, half of our podcast guests have been female. And what that tells me is that there are prominent women in this industry doing great work, making change and affecting people's lives. But for some reason, the following tier behind that drive is like not coming into the space behind those women that are kind of pushing the front. So why do you think that is? You know, like, why do you think, and it may be different for you. I'm sure your analytics look very different than mine. But,
totally different.
But still, like, from our perspective over here, you know, it seems like I'm constantly meeting these inspiring, energetic, motivated women in our industry. But then, like, I just, like, can't find any women that are like marketing with laser machines. Is there a reason that you think that they gravitate so hard towards you? And what can everybody else in the industry do to make it more welcoming for both sexes, you know?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
it's a heavy question. It's a heavy question.
No, listen, I just know that I am, okay. Here's one thing I will tell you. As my business started to scale, as it started to grow, you start stretching yourself too thin. I'm sure you know this, Alex, and you're trying to juggle too many things. Yeah. And at some point, you get to a point in your business where you're like, okay, I need to scale, but I need help, right? Yep. And for me in the beginning, scaling my business didn't necessarily mean hiring people. It meant getting a cleaning lady. It meant ordering food to come to the house, right?
Taking some of the mom hats off.
Yeah. And why did I need to do that? Because I wanted to stay in my zone of genius. My zone of genius is talking to my audience. And who do I talk to? I talk to the stay-at-home mom, really, mostly. A lot of people connect to me and a lot of people relate to me, and I'm grateful for that. But when I'm talking to the camera, I'm thinking of the woman I was 3 years ago. Yeah. And I find
lost and looking for help and not finding anybody you can connect with. Again, I just want to, bring that back up because I feel like that's very important.
Yeah. So I think of her. And so when I'm talking to the camera, that's what people are connecting with the most. And I find that when you stay in your zone of genius, those that are meant to find you will find you. Yeah. So, I would love for everybody to follow me, but at the end of the day, I can only speak to the person who connects to me. And so that's the person I'm searching for. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know that.
For sure.
And that's okay. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that do want to drink the same cup of tea with me or whatever the expression is. So, I find that if you just focus on your talents, then those who are meant to find you will find you.
Yeah, I love that.
Does that help?
That's amazing. That's a great answer. And you've taken a lot of steps to make sure that kind of help is available. One of the things that you've been working on for a really long time, and I've been dying to talk to you about, because so far I've only seen the outside of the Iron Curtain. I want to pull that back a little bit and peer inside the Laser Launch Academy. Talk to me about that. What is the deal? Why did you start it? And what's inside that shell? Because I've only really seen the shell. I want to know what's inside.
Okay. So my dream for Laser Launch Academy started pretty much 3 years ago when I walked into the industry and I was like, why are there so few resources? It really frustrated me that there was so much wonderful free information that's everywhere. And so why is it that I learned one little bit here that could have saved me hours of my life had they mentioned one other little thing, So those things would really frustrate me. And I really knew at that time, I was like, if I could afford a course, I would have taken one, something that would squash my learning curve and save me hours of my life. And so the dream started 3 years ago. It has been I'm telling you, Making that course almost killed me. I'm not gonna lie. And I was just sharing with Boyce that, I looked at my YouTube channel. I haven't made a video in 7 months. That is like unheard of for me, because I used to pump out videos every week, and so anyhow, I had to drop that ball if I wanted to make that dream come true. And so what makes Laser Launch Academy so special? This is me taking 3 years of intense learning experiences and troubleshooting. Because mind you, again, I was the only woman in the very beginning using these machines. So everybody came to me, all different types of lasers. It doesn't matter what laser you have. So I grew very familiar helping people troubleshoot their machines, helping them know what to look for, what not to do. And so I have compiled all of that. I have researched it and organized it all, and I've made it into a beautiful little package for you. And I've made it as easy as I can. I've made custom files. Everything is custom, like my little slot sizer over here, and all the files within the course I have either paid a designer to make for me, or I have done it myself. I have worksheets and lessons and I'll give you an assignment, and I'll give you enough of a file that if you're willing to do the homework, you can get the file kind of thing.
Right.
But the whole point is to shorten the learning curve as quickly as possible and empower you with information and knowledge. Because what happens when you first get a laser? I don't know about you, but the majority of people following me feel like I did, and they're terrified. I was so excited, but I was so nervous. So I had high anxiety and low knowledge, which never makes for a good combination,
Not at all. Yeah.
So the sooner I can increase the knowledge and bring down the anxiety, the sooner I can get you feeling more confident, and the sooner I can help you win. I want to help you win with your laser sooner than later. So that's in a nutshell what Laser Launch Academy is. Once a week.
Yeah, that's perfect. And so I just want to clarify a couple details, because I know so many people that this could really help, and I want to make sure that they understand what they're getting themselves into. You do enrollment in sections, right? It's not just like start whenever. These are like personalized classes that are going through the Laser Launch Academy together. Is that right?
Yeah, so I mean, you can ask Boyce. Boyce is one of my students. Yeah. I do it 2 ways. When I open enrollment, you can either purchase the course and take it yourself at your own pace, or you take tier 2, which means we go together. It's a 6 weeks course, and then every week I go live and I answer your questions and I troubleshoot with you. But I'm also very hands-on type of teacher. So you can ask Boyce, if I see you struggling, I'm going to message you. I'm going to ask you if I can FaceTime with you, and I'm going to walk you through whatever you're doing and get you to the finish line right then and there if I can. And so I can't do that if people are constantly enrolling. Right. So, that's how we do it.
No, that's super cool. That's super cool. Is there and we'll replug everything at the end of the show, but if somebody was looking for this, where would they go to find it right now if they were looking for it?
You can go to laserlaunchacademy.com.
That's the URL I wanted. Yep. Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And right now, is Laser Launch Academy focuses on CO2 gantry lasers?
Yes, that's my wheelhouse. I don't do the fiber thing. That's all you, Alex.
No worries. That's okay. We don't have that much content for CO2 on the channel, so that we actually fit together really well. Kyle just started his light burn for gantry crash course, which is going to be very basic, bare bones, like
getting started stuff.
Don't burn your house down with your machine kind of stuff. But we don't have a ton of gantry CO2 content on the channel. So I want people to join the Laser Launch Academy. I want people to benefit from all of your knowledge and expertise and experience. Of course, it's one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on the show, because I really wanted to talk about it. In the Laser Launch Academy, you're using your mirrors, right?
Yes. However, when I was filming the core content for the course, I did record on other lasers. So you will see other lasers in the course. Okay. I talk about differences in them. So for example, on a thunder laser, you're going to use the U axis for your rotary, whereas the rest of us, we're going to use we're going to switch the Y axis to the to the rotary kind of. I'm sorry, the Y axis to the rotary. Yep. So I have red and black in there. I have as many different lasers as I can because the course is not designed for just Eon laser users. It's designed for I'm teaching the fundamentals that can be applied to any laser.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like
awesome.
that.
And I want to ask you about your lasers, but first, I saw you just answered it, Boyce. But can we get a quick, just kind of review? What has your experience been like in the Laser Launch Academy? Because you are new. A lot of people see that you work for Laser Everything, and they're like, Boyce must be a laser master. Guys, Boyce is brand new to laser engraving. I mean, like brand spanking new. So your opinion is very valid here. I'd love to hear about what your experience has been so far taking part in this course.
Yeah. So for me, like she was saying, is the anxiety of turning this thing on and it's going to make a fire if you mess up.
Yeah.
Like for real, we have a fire blanket, we have a CO2, we have everything, not CO2, but the fire extinguisher there. So she really goes over safety, of course, the vision safety for the lasers, for your eyes, how to set up the exhaust, how to do all the basic things. Because when you get this huge 500-pound machine just slapped into your house, you're like, okay, where do I start? It really does break it down simply and easily, and it's I can definitely see the teacher in you come out and just break it down. Like you can visualize this outline of okay, I see what she's doing here. And like she said, these little projects she gives you download the file, and then you just go do what she said, and you learn things. And then like for me, I go get a different file, I'll do it on my own with a different file and see if I can do it as if I was starting over.
Right.
And it allows you that space. But the big thing is the live streams every week, twice a week, is it, Emily?
I do it on Thursday evenings for people because, my first run, people were like, well, we can't do it in the daytime. So I do Thursday nights for people who work in the daytime, and then I do Friday afternoons for people who would rather join me live at that hour.
Right. So those are very helpful to have any last second troubleshooting questions like, okay, I can't get my air assist to come on. What's wrong? And I had that problem. I hooked up the air assist and all that stuff, and we tried to figure it out, and we were live, and she actually sang. Very helpful.
Those are my laser babies. I got to take care of those.
I'm like 3 podcast episodes behind on editing. I just finished editing that one, so that'll go up a little later tonight. If you guys want to hang out and listen to Emily scream at us in the comments, trying to get us to do the right thing while we ignore her and act like 3 doofuses for an hour and a half, it's a great episode for you. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But that's awesome, Boyce. I'm so glad that it was a positive experience for you. I know that this can be helpful to people, and I'm so glad that we could take some of the time during the podcast today to talk about it. But I want to take some of the rest of the time to talk about Eon, right? I mean, you are like the Eon queen, and you've got the lasers. What do you actually like? What do you have like physically in your possession? Can you make a list?
This is my first laser, my Mira 7.
Yep.
And so I'm kind of like emotionally attached to her, even though she's a first gen. They've come so far from, this is already a great laser, but they've done a lot. So anyhow, this is my first laser. And now this one is getting ready to go to the warehouse. But I still wanted to have a laser in the home. And so I have always looked at the Mira 5. I just got it last week. And I've always looked at it like she's definitely underrated. And people don't give her the kind of credit that she deserves because she's like tiny yet mighty,
Right.
If you were to hold her up against like a Glowforge or a Beambox or, other hobby grade lasers, she's tiny like they are, but she performs like my 7 does.
Right.
So I'm going to have that one here. And then in a few weeks, I'm getting a Nova, Nova 14.
Yeah.
And that one's also going to be going to the warehouse. So
let me ask, is your Nova going to have the RF tube in it?
That's a supernova.
That's a supernova. Okay.
I'm going to put a statue of Emily outside our building.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, that would be, that's like tourist destination level. Like I would go, we just drove across the country to visit some family in California, and we stopped at the Jolly Green Giant on the way. He's like, it's gigantic. I want that, but so it's like me and family. We're at Eon. But yeah, so okay, so but you've had and will have your hand on a wide variety of these lasers. You've been using them for a long time, and now you're a what is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. A brand ambassador? Is that?
Yes, I'm the brand ambassador for the company. Yes.
What does that mean? Are you a sellout? I don't understand. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. Well, you know, I'm being
that mean?
I want to know, like, you know, in your own words, because that's, you know, people grumble that kind of stuff. People grumble about me all the time. What is it really? Is what I want to say.
I think it was just a natural progression for me. This was a company that, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today if this company hadn't been so helpful to me before I was anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, like I said, there wasn't a lot out there. So I had customer support to lean on and whatever I could find out on the internet. So did we know that so many people would gravitate to my channel and just fall in love with the brand also? No, but it just kind of naturally happened that way. So February of this year, they wanted to bring me on in more of like a more formal capacity for marketing, helping them develop resources for their customers, creating. This is a term I didn't know until I started, you know, working closer with them, onboarding, you know, how do we really successfully onboard our customers? And so I feel like I do a lot of like the field knowledge and I feed it back to them on how they can continue to improve. Because at the end of the day, that's one of the things that I really love about Eon is that they just want to keep getting better and serving their customers. They don't focus on all the distractions. They're just focused on really serving their customer and making their machines the best they can. Yeah. So and I get to do marketing for them and things like that.
Felt like I spiked the ball on you, but my point is you're not a sellout. In fact, you're the best person to be doing this job because you're like their biggest customer, right? I mean, you understand things from the customer perspective that maybe a large corporation is going to have a hard time wrapping their hands around, you know, and you're on the battlefield, right? You're in that front line. You know what these users are experiencing, what their fears are, what the challenges they're facing are, and you can be that bridge between the company and the user, you know. And I can't even think of another laser company that even attempts to kind of bridge that with personnel. So I really wanted to give you a chance to explain that in your own words, which you did fabulously, because I think it's an important role. I think if more of these laser companies took the time to bring people like you on board, there would be a lot less people griping about their machines on the internet. You know, it's true. Yeah. It's true. And you know, I love that for you. I was so happy for you when you told me the news, because I was one of the first people to hear, and I was very excited. I was very, very excited to hear about it. And you know, I mean, when you're working in that capacity, you know, what kind of stuff do you find yourself doing on like a day-to-day? Like, what's a normal day for you look like when you're working with them?
Okay, so it's I don't know, my schedule's kind of all over the place, but like now I'll go either once or twice a week. I'll drive up to Melbourne. So I'm at headquarters. I'm, you know, observing what, you know, they're doing there, creating content for them and working with the marketing team. We're working with the tech support team. You know, what kind of resources can we create to alleviate tech support? And, you know, because sometimes they get calls that really shouldn't really be a tech support team, but Eon is so good about holding your hand in the beginning, you know, so a lot of people lean on customer support. So what resources can we create to make that easier? So those are the kind of things that I'm, you know, constantly working on with them. Yeah,
I love it. It's like having a customer there in an official capacity to make sure that they're doing the best job they can for the people they're trying to serve. And I just think that's genius. I love it. So the warehouse, we've come kind of full circle now to the warehouse.
Okay.
So you said you had to take a break from producing actual physical goods.
We're talking about my warehouse now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In order to focus on the like kind of more IP side of your business. And
yes,
you're coming back. We're opening this warehouse up, and it's going to serve that purpose. That's right.
Yes.
Tell me what you can tell me. If there's spoilers, we can leave the spoilers out. Yeah, let's hear about it.
Okay, so how do I write it? give it to you in a nutshell. Okay, so I know that I'm responsible for inspiring a lot of people to get a machine, right? And I've done everything I can possibly to teach them how to use the machine and create products with the machine. All right. But now now that I know the power of what these machines can do, and now that I understand Etsy and Shopify and social media and all these different things, I know without a shadow of a doubt that anybody who wanted to, if they wanted to create a six-figure or multi-six-figure business, even a seven-figure business with lasers, they could. And so
anybody.
Anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what laser you have. If you know how to do it right, it can be done. I know too many people. Kimberly, she's in my group. She's got 15 lasers. Jenna, she's got 3 lasers now. Kaylee, she's got another 4 lasers. Like, I've lost count of all these women, right? Who found me and then started killing it. And so I see them do it. And it's like, you know, it's really sweet because they come to me and they're like, Emily, you inspired me to get a laser. And I'm like, well, you're inspiring me to go make a 6-figure business with my laser. Like, you know, like we're paying it forward and inspiring each other. So anyhow, I showed people, I inspired them to get a laser and I showed them how to start one from their home. Now I want to prove to them how to scale it outside of their home for those that want to. Not everybody wants to, you know, hustle that hard, but by golly, I really think I can do it. And I think I can take you on the journey with me and prove it to myself and to you that it can be done. So that's what I'm going to do.
So that's what you're going to do. So we're starting with we're going to have the warehouse and we're going to have the Mirror 7s going over, you said. And then we've got a Nova coming over, right? You already have like product ideas like brewing.
I've been working on them this whole time. I've been working with designers. Because here's the thing, like I would love to draw my ideas, but just to draw a pedal takes me like an hour. So now I work with a team of designers. I tell them this is what I want. They draw it, they bring it back to me. I tell them, no, we need to tweak it. This is not yet it. But anyhow, I've been working on a product line that once I'm ready to, I will be launching my physical products with those products. The
irony of my existence has always been that if I like even touch a pen, like a plant nearby me dies, you know, like I can't design to save my life, but I love lasers and I love laser marking and laser cutting. It's always been a thing for me. I've always gotten help from designers. That's a pro tip for you guys. If you are not good at designing, you can still be successful doing this kind of work. Just work with people that are good at that. There are plenty of starving artists out there that would love to collaborate with you.
This is part of that component of learning how to scale.
Right.
If I want to build a 6-figure business or beyond, I can't do it by myself, and I have to learn how to relinquish control of some things. And so for me, it's been, you know, getting a cleaning lady and then getting help to help me organize and manage everything. And now that also includes, you know, getting a team of designers to help me with my products. So they will help me. They'll draw the products for me. I will do all the testing. I will vectorize it. And then I've been also testing, you know, what is the optimal production of this particular file on my laser. So once I sell it, I've crushed down the time as best as I can and still provide a really great end product.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're high school students, we don't expect a film director to like pick up the camera and the boom mic and like go out there and play all the roles, right? I mean, you need more people than that to like make a movie. This is kind of the same thing. When you scale that production up from high school movie to like Hollywood film, it involves more people. That's just part of the system. You know, you got to get more people involved and get more minds involved. Things always turn out better that way. So I'm really excited about that. And what form is this storefront going to take? Is it going to be that mom with the laser store on Etsy, or is it going to be something different? Do we have like some new brand?
Well, I keep going back and forth because part of me is like, well, maybe I should start from scratch so I could really, because I don't want people to say, oh, well, the only reason she's, you know, selling these products is because she's that mom with the laser. She has all these
that's what I was getting after. Yeah.
You know, but then again, I've already invested so much in this brand. It's a registered trademark. I paid to have this registered, you know, like. So part of me just thinks I'm going to stick with that mom with a laser. However, I'm going to be selling my products on several different platforms, and I'm pretty sure that I can prove to myself and the people following me that I can do it on Amazon, because on Amazon, nobody knows who that mom with the laser is, you know, but I want to leverage Amazon's customers.
I'd like to point out too that mom with a laser is a brand mostly, like vast majority, recognized by people that are making products and can make the products that you're selling them on Etsy. That Correct. They are not your customers. Those are different groups of people. You can have all the notoriety in the world of lasers that you could possibly have, and the laser people are not going to be the people buying the stuff you made with your laser engraver. So I think that's irrelevant, but for the most part, I know there's exceptions.
I mean, I do have, it's funny because, sometimes I'll make a digital file and then I cut it and I produce it so that I can show it to my followers. But then other people are like, how do I buy it? And I'm like,
right.
Have somebody in the comments.
Totally.
I have a girlfriend who just gets mad at me now because she's like, she always wants to, because here's an interesting thing about social media, okay? Mm-hmm. They can go and buy the same product from somebody else, but they want to buy it from me. Right. And at the end of the day, what's the lesson there? People do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yes. Yep.
So I totally reject the rhetoric that I can't sell what everybody else is selling. Psh. Bring it. We can sell the same thing. I will sell the crap out of it. Excuse my French, but we've
already done that too, Emily. How many laser engraving channels are on YouTube? You know what I mean? And both of us, in the grand scheme of things, especially me, but also you, are new in the space, and yet people are coming, and there's a reason for that. It's not that again, you mentioned earlier with the Laser Launch Academy, it's not that the information isn't out there, but I think a big part of it is that people want to get that information from Emily. People want to get that information from Alex. So the example I was going to give is like, how many channels are on YouTube reviewing electronics, like consumer electronics, and how many of them have like over 1 million subscribers? The competition, the whole competition argument in general is nonsense. If you love what you're doing and you're making an effort, like, you can succeed in this world. There are so many freaking customers. So
I think my people know, they're like, don't bring that nonsense to me. Don't tell me this. Don't tell me the market's saturated. Don't tell me everybody's selling X, Y, and Z. I will take all of those things and sell them anyway.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
If I really wanted to.
I think one of the first things that like got our little mom and pop engraving shop off the ground, pre-channel, like, historical here, was like little name tags that I was cutting out of like Romark and like little pieces of hardwood. It's like, do you know how many freaking name tags you can buy on Etsy? And I was selling like dozens of them a week. There's no reason. So I totally, I'm on board with that. I totally get it. And you're like an Etsy master now. Did you have a lot? You are. No, you are. How much help did you have setting up your Etsy shop when you started it?
No, but nothing.
Okay, you had nothing, and now you've got 5-star rating with 4,931 sales. You're an Etsy master, lady, whether you like it or not. What is the secret? I mean, what are you doing that so many people aren't doing? Because a lot of these people, they buy a laser and they're like, I'm going to sell on Etsy. They just write to it. That's like the first stop, So what, you shaking your head? No, say it, tell me.
Okay. Listen, so if there's anything I've learned, and I'm going to be moving away from, I'm still going to use Etsy. Okay. Sure. But I am going to be moving away from that to my own website, as well as, like I said, I'm going to go into Amazon Handmade. Right. All right. And here's what I didn't realize in the beginning, but I had to do what was easy and I had to do what felt free. Okay. In my mind, I could not afford the $30 a month from Shopify. That felt like way too much money. Right. Okay. I tell the story to people when I first got my laser, we were really, like I said, that was everything we had in our savings. We were taking a huge leap of faith. That was all our money. Mm-hmm. But the investing doesn't stop there. You got to get the material, and you got to get the stain, and you got to get the paintbrush, and you got to market yourself. So I remember going to Home Depot, and I needed stain because I had to make the round for the sign that I teased marketed on my social media, on my Facebook account, my personal Facebook account. And I remember reaching out to grab the can of stain, and it was like $7 and change. And I was like, I had a lump in my throat because I didn't know how I was going to go back and tell my husband I spent more money, you know?
Right.
Sorry. I don't mean to get emotional, but that was the reality then. Yeah, so anyhow, that's why I didn't go with Shopify, because the $30 felt like way too much.
Yeah.
But Etsy, even if they were charging me, I didn't feel it because people had to pay me first for them to take the cut.
Right.
Okay. So what's my point? Now that I know better, all of that traffic that's gone to Etsy, that wasn't Etsy, that was me on social media.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, I knew nothing about TikTok or Instagram or anything. My best friend used to laugh at me because I couldn't wrap my head around what a story on Instagram was.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm the kind of person that, I won't whine or complain about it. And I'm going to quote one of my favorite quotes. It's by a gentleman named Jim Rohn. He says, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." So I looked at Instagram and I figured it out. Okay. Yeah. And so all of this traffic, I have been sending my own traffic to Etsy. Why am I doing that? I'm giving them a percentage that they have not earned, and that's why I want my own website. And I'm trying to shift over to that. Finally, I think I'm going off track here. What was the question?
Well, we were just, I mean, people, I said that a lot of people look at Etsy and they zero in on that and they see that as the future, and you were shaking your head no. So you were just sharing.
I know I'm getting to the point now.
Yeah.
Like if that, I feel like that's easy for people to start. It's very user friendly. It's not as intimidating as building out a website, and it feels cheaper in the beginning.
Do you think there's value in the organic reach that you get from Etsy without having to market yourself?
Yes, I do. Because there are a lot of people now that find me through Etsy because they're searching for laser files. And then all of a sudden they discover everything else that I have to offer. So here's how I look at it now. And this is why I feel like I can be successful with the warehouse. I look at every different platform as an opportunity to reach out to their audiences. So I want a piece of Amazon's customer base. I want a piece of Etsy's customer base. But everybody that finds me of my own effort, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, those are the people I should be sending to my personal website, which is either a Shopify or a Squarespace. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't need to share those profits for marketing efforts that I have done on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's a righteous point. But let me just, so many people hate this, but I'm going to be the devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
The people that are like brand new, right? It sounds very righteous to say like, I'm not giving Amazon and Etsy my traffic. I worked hard for that traffic. But if you go the Shopify route and you don't have the Etsy, right? Or you don't have the Amazon or, other marketplace facilitator, that traffic has to come from somewhere. And if you're not out there busting your butt 24/7 on social media to keep up with the social media game, you're like paying for marketing and advertising, like Google ads, Facebook boosted posts. That's very daunting and scary to new people. Do you have any kind of experience with that kind of stuff? Is that something that
you're talking about paying for ads?
Yeah, I'm talking about paying for ads. Yeah, I'm talking about like paid marketing solution, to bring that traffic through. Is that something that you ever did, or have you always been like organic, taking care of social media?
To this day, everything that you see, the 30,000 in the Facebook group, all the different things, that's all been organic traffic. I've never once paid for advertising. Amazing. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't.
Sure.
I just felt that, I could do it on my own, and I didn't have the money to pay for advertising in the beginning.
Right.
So I either had to get uncomfortable. I had to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because doing the whole social, I know people see me on social media now, they think I'm really comfortable with it, obviously, but I wasn't in the beginning.
Yep.
I had to figure it out.
Yep.
But I didn't have the money, or I wasn't willing to invest in the advertisement yet. So I can't give advice on that. But I do know that you can.
I'm glad that your answer, because I'm glad that was your answer, because that means that if you can't afford marketing and you can't afford advertising, that doesn't mean you can't be successful. And you're living, breathing proof. You're sitting right here in the little square next to me. She did it, and she made it happen. So I just want to make that point that, you can get out there and do the work. Another thing that I just beat like a dead horse on the podcast all the time is that you can't make a full-time income doing a part-time job. So you need to, haul ass.
You have to treat it like a business.
Yeah, you gotta get out there and market yourself and make, real connections with real people. That takes time and effort. And you got to give somewhere. If you don't have the money, you got to give the time. If you don't have the time, you got to give the money. You got to do something. Like there's something has to bend a little bit in order to get reach, in
Right,
general.
right.
But I love that you did it manually. I love that you did it the hard way, because the easy way
Yes.
is throwing money at the problem. You did it the hard way, and you're sitting here in front of us, and you've pulled it off. And I love that. I mean, you've got this tone in your voice, like you're not even going to do it with the warehouse storefront. Like, you're just like, I'm not buying ads. You don't have to.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean that I won't experiment now,
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I wasn't willing to invest in that kind of stuff. So
Right.
I had to figure it out. And, I'm also not the kind of person to whine about things like, oh, why don't my friends share my products? It's not their job to share my products. It's mine.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
Period. And
Right.
if I'm not getting likes on social media, you know what I would have done? I mean, I love social media because I think it's the most efficient way to reach thousands of people quickly. Okay? One good video is better than me having to go to like 5 different local shops in person, to try and make connections that may eventually bring fruit later on.
Right.
Okay? However, if I wasn't successful on social media, you know what I would have done? I would have gone to networking events in my city. I would have looked at a map and looked at all of the little small shops that I would have liked to get my products into. Mm-hmm. And then I would have taken samples and I would have gone in person and I would have fought through my fear and found the courage to ask for the owner and show them what I have. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if you really want this, you will make it happen. Period.
Right. That's a hard stance from Emily that I was not expecting, but I'm digging it. I like that energy. That's cool, man. So we talked about, just quick recap here, because we had so many. You do so much stuff. We talked about your sprawling social media complex and Etsy. We talked about the warehouse. We talked about the Laser Launch Academy. Go sign up for the Laser Launch Academy. We talked about YouTube. Mm-hmm. Am I missing anything? Is there anything that we haven't talked about tonight that you just like, it's just burning you up inside? You really want to get it off your chest?
No, not burning it up inside, but that's a bunch of all of the different avenues of what is That Mom with a Laser. Also, it's my partnerships. Yeah. It's not just Eon. Eon is that was the beginning of what would become partnerships later on in the future, like Pyburn. That's one of my
of course.
Those are like, I love my Pyburn, and then I have
shout out to Stan in the chat. I saw Stan poking around.
How do I see them? I don't see anybody's. Can I see the chat?
Yeah, you can see the chat. It's in comments in the right menu tab on the right side of the screen.
I was like, I asked all my people to come be with me, and I was like, oh wait, I can't see the chat.
Oh no. Oh man. Where is it? Here, can you see this one? I'll throw this up. Stan says, "Woo, love you, Emily." Thanks, Alex.
You know what? I gotta tell you, this was the first time. Hi, Stan. He knows I love Stan. They're really great people. As you know, once your channel starts to do well, every company under the sun starts to look at you like you're a piece of meat. Everybody wants to work with you, and your inbox is full of everybody. Right? Am I right?
Oh yeah, of course, constantly. Every nook and cranny that anywhere that I could accept any kind of correspondence, it's just stuffed in every corner. Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm just not even paying attention, because even the way they begin the message just tells me that they're just not. They don't get it. But this was the first formal partnership that I took after Eon. Eon just kind of happened naturally. Mm-hmm. But the Pyburn guys, when they reached out to me, they were so respectful, and they understood that, they wanted to send me their Pyburn, and I was like, well, I'm happy to use it, but I give you no guarantees. There's not a single thing that I'm going to share with my people if I don't love it myself.
Right.
I can't share it and feel genuine about it if I don't like it.
Right.
And they were totally respectful about that. They just understood my value, and I could tell that in the way that they communicated it with me. So then they sent me it, and it was like a no-brainer. Right. After like 2 years of using other rotaries, this one made it so much easier. I loved it. So that's when Pyburn came into the picture, and then Bearwood's rotary, the hand rotary tool. Mm-hmm, do you ever see those signs that have the 3D effect, and they're actually they're not hand carved, but you use a rotary tool to carve the edges? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Scroll saw artists use it a lot. Mm-hmm. So then Bearwoods was the third partnership that I took on, and that's it. I really only have 3. in Amazon. But
that's a weird. Well, we've done it the complete. Like, if there couldn't be more of an opposite way to go about handling that. I literally just say yes to like everyone, unless it's like literally falling apart in the picture that they send me of the thing. Like, I just say yes to everyone because this stuff's out there. People are buying it. You know. So I'm like, if we step on the landmine, then like somebody else doesn't have to, you know, like we could warn people. And we haven't really had any like huge bombs yet. Kyle's getting ready to, it's right behind him, that gigantic monster sitting on that shelf right behind him.
That blue thing right there.
Yeah. So like I want to play Minesweeper, you know, that's kind of like my thing. I want to get, and then the good stuff, like I'll keep in the net and I'll throw it over my shoulder and it can help us move forward. And the bad stuff we can say like, you know, like, you know, and so that's kind of how we've been going about it. And of course I keep all the stuff that's really interesting. And then I forward all of the emails of the junk to Kyle's email inbox. And then he tells me whether or not he wants to play with it. So Kyle's really the Minesweeper, if we're being honest. Yeah. I always get the X-Tool D1 and Kyle gets the I don't even know. I just
the other thing.
The other thing, yeah, the brandless, like the label is a sticker and it's like missing a foot, you know, that's the kind of stuff that shows up at Kyle's house. So
you know, I think that's great though, because you know, I get these emails and I'm like, it would be fun, but I only have so much time, and so you know, if I'm going to take something on, I've really just got to love it. Like I can't put my name behind anything that I don't love. Right. And so I have very few partnerships, but the ones that I do, you know, that I feel strongly about them kind of thing. And I don't know, like I wish I could take on all of the lasers, but I don't have the time to do it either. And I'd rather just get really good at the few things that I really like anyway, because then it's just easy for me.
Yeah, I like that though, because the ethics on that are really, really crystal clear. You know, if I see something show up in one of your videos, there's a reason for that, right? If people are watching Laser Everything, like anything goes, and like we have no idea what's going to happen until it happens. But if I'm watching your channel, like I know if I see a rotary pop up or I see some kind of like little accessory pop up, like you don't just dump stuff into your videos. Like this is very, very curated and refined, right? And there's a reason for that. And you've put so much effort into doing that already that for you to just like suddenly be like throwing garbage out there would be ludicrous. It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't. Well, I mean,
I think it all depends on what the delivery is like. Like there is a lot of value in what you guys are doing too. You know,
the Minesweeping.
It's just a whole different type of, you know, approach to it. Like for me, like I can't. If I'm not enthusiastic about it, I don't want to record it. I don't want to. I have to. It has to come from within and feel real. Otherwise, I don't do it. And again, this is a part of me staying in my zone of genius. People know I'm so easy to read. I'm so easy to read. If I wasn't enjoying it, people would know.
People would know. Yeah. That's kind of like why we, you know, we Kyle and I enjoy the. I guess we enjoy the Minesweeping. That kind of is our area.
It's kind of our thing.
It's kind of our thing. I mean, have you watched Lasered yet? We just like melted a Pixel 6a on the channel the other day. I mean, we're kind of like chaotic, so it kind of fits us. I really want to just super quick call out. We got a super chat from Mark. Signed up for tier 2 at Laser Launch Academy. Have to go, but great collaboration, peeps. Thanks. Thank you so much, Mark, for that.
Thanks, Mark.
Emily is a brilliant freaking genius over here. I'm so glad we're coming up. We're coming up on our hour, which really flew by. But
I want to circle back to.
Please, get it before I close out because I'm going to do it. You know, when I chomp. So yes. You better get in.
There is a lot of competition out there on YouTube or all these platforms. But the biggest thing it comes down to is trust. You can be viral by being an asshole for no reason, and you can go viral for that. But to build a community, you have to have trust first. You have to prove yourself to be worth building around because you do things that people trust you to do, and you're transparent about things. I think that's what the biggest difference is. Trust me, guys. You two came into my life at the perfect time. I just bought this damn fiber laser It was like, oh God, now what? I scared to hell. This whole thing was overwhelming. And then, same thing with Emily. We ordered the damn laser a long time ago, because thanks to COVID, everything takes a long time. But it gave us time to learn, and we searched everywhere. I do a lot of research on YouTube to find any kind of instructional videos, and you two were the only ones that really fulfilled that need of newbie to doobie. Let's do something. Like for me, that's what I think is why you two have had so much success with building communities, because you build that trust up by being consistent and transparent. So that's why, to me.
That's nice, boys. Thanks, man.
It's the truth.
Newbie to doobie. I love that.
Yeah, that's a T-shirt. You can have that one. Yeah, that's all you. That's our gift for coming on.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I do realize we didn't talk about one more thing that I really want to talk about.
Okay. Go.
We didn't talk about the Facebook group.
Oh, the Facebook group. 32,000 members on this Facebook group. What are you doing over there? You're just giving money away? I don't understand.
Stop it. Okay, so I'm gonna quote Jim Rohn again because I really love him. Okay, and eventually when I decided I was gonna go like full on education, all right, I kept hearing him in the back of my mind because he says you can have everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want.
I love that quote. I love that.
So I love it too. Okay, and when that group started, okay, I go back to the whole talking to women thing, but this is how it started. There weren't other groups that I could go to that would show me how to use a commercial laser and not make me feel incapable.
Yeah.
I'm not.
All four of us in here have been made to feel stupid on Facebook by somebody.
Okay.
It's happened to all of us.
Yep.
So the goal in the beginning was to create a safe space where you could ask a question and not be made to feel like a fool. Okay.
Right.
And now a lot of other great groups and leaders have spawned out of that little group of mine. But that's where it started. And what made that group special and still special, at least today, but in the very beginning, there was nobody in the Facebook groups going live and teaching for free. I did that weekly. I would go into so if you go into my Facebook group and you go into the guide section, there are hundreds of training videos, business talks. Sarah Sewell, she's a professional Etsy coach. She shows you what you should be looking for if you want to optimize your Etsy page. Like I've really brought in a lot of experts to teach different trades, and it's all there in the Facebook group, which is I call it's like my virtual home, because just like you live in Discord, I live in the Facebook group. And so what makes it special today, every month I feature a designer. You get a freebie file. They come and they teach something. I pop in and I teach something. It's almost like a hub, and a search engine. We keep track of trends and what's going on in the industry, what's up and coming, what things are selling, what things are not selling. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Facebook group because I really feel that it's very special. And I have constantly had to evolve with that group because I'm sure, as you know, as your groups start to grow, the crazies start to come in and they try to change the community culture. Yeah. And if there's anything that makes that Mom with a Laser Facebook community special, it's the culture. And there was a point where I would go and look at other groups that are double the size to see how active they are in terms of engagement. And I was just floored that my tiny group, had triple the engagement as other groups, right? Now, though, we monitor it very closely. We try to keep the feed as what's the word I'm looking for? This isn't a font group. So if people are coming in trying to ask what font this is, we're going to redirect them to what the font group. We really want everything on the main feed to be, valuable. So You might see that the posts aren't as high as maybe they once were, but that's also because we're cleaning out a lot of the fluff so that what makes it to the main feed is useful or something that's, going to serve somebody. Right. And then the other thing, I know you said you wanted to talk a little bit about social media. I do want to talk about this just a hair.
How about this is just an idea.
In the after show?
Yeah, I think
right, let's do it.
That's my little carrot to dangle.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that one. Listen, guys, Emily Caroline, she's sitting here. It's all in the brain. She's the queen. She does all the things. There in the description right now is a link to her YouTube channel, That Mom with a Laser. Guys, go subscribe if you're not already. I can't imagine that you're not subscribed. I see your eyes lighting up. What do you
I
got?
see the comments tab. I saw your note.
She did it.
It was my bad. It was in the
No, it
settings.
wasn't there. It wasn't there.
It wasn't. You're not crazy, and he's over here gaslighting you, trying to make you feel like you've lost your mind.
There's Aaron. You started with Zoom chats with 6 women. I remember Aaron. Sorry, those are. It's true. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
Do
it's
your
okay.
closing.
I like it. I like it. I just want to I want to funnel. I'm like funneling. That Mom with a Laser on the web. There's a link to that in the description. Your website. There's tons of stuff on there, including freebies. I saw the freebies tab. I haven't clicked it yet, but I want to because it's free and I pick things up when they're free. The Facebook group, guys, is the third link. Join the Facebook group. I'm on the Facebook group. I think these guys are on the Facebook group. Go join the Facebook group. It's amazing. The Etsy's down there. Feel like shopping? Want to buy something super cute that you don't want to make yourself? Go check out her Etsy shop. And of course, we've got the Instagram, the TikTok. I love your TikToks. They're so freaking funny. And you've got like just the regular old Facebook page, if you will, linked down there as well. And I'm actually I have the description up right now. As soon as we close, I'm going to throw the Laser Launch Academy link down in there too, so that people can go sign up for that. When is the next enrollment?
Everybody keeps asking me, and so I think I am going to squeeze one in before the end of the year. I'm looking at October 1st, but I will announce that officially next week.
And that's something that people will see on the Facebook group.
They sure
There you
will.
go.
Okay, go sign up for the Facebook group, guys. Emily, thank you so much for coming on, dealing with my weird ass, talking with these guys up here, these professional, friendly gentlemen. I really know how busy you are. So the fact that you're blowing 2 hours with us really means a lot to me. So thank you for coming on and chatting with us.
Thank you. This was fun. I'm really glad to have come.
If you saw her eyes light up. You saw them light up. It just happened live. If you guys want to hear what Emily has to say about social media, because she's very eager to talk about it, sign up for the Laser Master Academy. It's the #1 way to support the channel. We have employees now. We are buying stuff. There's payroll. It's like all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Everybody who works on this channel over here at Laser Everything does so full-time, and that's thanks to our members over at the Laser Master Academy. You guys are volunteering every month to spend your hard-earned money to make sure that the channel and the show continues to be possible, and none of this would exist in its current form if it weren't for you guys. So special shout out to our current LMA members. If you guys are already supporting the channel, thank you so much. If you guys want to help support the channel, you get some bonus goodies, you get some stuff. It's not very transactional though. Most of the stuff that's on there that's kind of been organized a little bit better than it is on the YouTube channel is still available on the YouTube channel. The people that are over there supporting the channel just want to support the channel, and it's very valiant. These guys are great. The LMA supporters are like hardcore, Emily. It's insane. Not that you're crazy. We love you. Thank you. Again, we're gonna get into it with her a whole nother hour just for you guys over at the Laser Master Academy. If you're not signed up, you can find out more over at masters.lasereverything.net. I think that's all I've got, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Laser Source Podcast, and we will see you in the next one.